Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. If you are new to our channel, subscribe, drop this episode a like and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. So we've got a lot to get through. Chris Hicks has done an interview today on Villa TV talking about his first 6 months at Aston Villa, what's been going on, what are the changes and where are we going, what's the direction of the club. So the big news is that the Villa Park, the North Stand redevelopment has been put on hold. So that is the big talking point, I think, coming out of this. I know a lot of fans have been really excited by that. He spoke about the 150 years, what we've got planned for that. And he's also spoke about some of the other things going on in and around Villa at the minute as well. So I've got to say, first up, I thought it was a very good interview from Chris Hicks. I thought it was open, it's honest, it's packed with substance, but he also backs up his reasonings for his decisions, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So I do think it is a really good interview. So go ahead and check that one out. So we'll talk about the Villa Park redevelopment first. He basically goes on to say that, you know, it's a really ambitious move to do that, but the infrastructure around Villa Park is just not right. We all know that. I mean, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, of what it's like for us to leave a game. So he spoke about that, but he's also spoke about Fortress Villa Park, and he's also spoke about the fact that knocking down the North Stand and having no fans in that stand while we are absolutely flying, we're doing fantastically well at home, it doesn't feel like that's the right thing to do. And I think, for me, my personal view is I kind of now think that possibly is the right thing. I think if you, and while we're doing so good and while we're absolutely flying, if you take away a whole stand and reduce the capacity of Villa Park, the atmosphere is not going to be great. The Villa players need us. We're doing so well to take away that stand for 2 years. I kind of feel it. With hopefully the football that's to come as well, if Aston Villa can qualify for the Champions League, we want fans in there, don't we? So I think that's a big point. And I think we've got to get it right. You know, it's not like with the badge where we can get it wrong and change it and replace it, etc. If that stand's built, if we've committed to knock that stand down, we can't get it wrong. So as much as I would love Villa Park capacity to be at 50,000, as much as I would love Villa Park to be hosting a European game for the Euros, taking our time and getting it right, I think probably is the right thing to do. And I think while we're absolutely flying, while the home form, while we're doing so well, I don't think it's 100% necessarily needed at this moment in time. So it's annoying that it's not happening, but I think long term, get it right, and that's okay. He also spoke about the 150 years, and he spoke about that's coming up and there's going to be a countdown and they're going to do something big for that. He has dropped a logo, which I've got to be honest, I'm really a fan of. I think it looks quite messy. It doesn't sort of fill me with Villa heritage. And I think when we're talking about a brand and an identity, we want to sort of look at something and feel that focus and feel that connection instantly. And I think this logo, I'll show it you now, I'm not really feeling it. I like the colours. I think the clarity's bang on, but the writing and the text, I just think it's not great for me. So I love the sentiment of doing something for 150 years. I think it's absolutely amazing, but this logo, I don't know, I'm just not sort of sure on it. I think if I look at it and I think, what's it remind me of? I think it's like a pale ale. I think if we're opening a pub, I think I'd be like, do you know what? Like the Villa Pale Ale, I'm sold on it. But yeah, I'm not feeling the logo. I've got to be honest. That's just my general opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But then he also went to talk on about how we grow and what the connection is with Villa, and he spoke about local is first and foremost in everything, because we are the people that go to the games, we are the community. He's also spoke about the global feel of Aston Villa and then the culture. So he's broke it down into 3 sections, which I really like. And for me, you know, that I mean, those 3 words, local, global, and culture, are the 3 things that you would want to base a football club around. You know, the heartbeat of the club is people that are living and breathing that club, and I think that's fantastic. But we also have to grow globally, we have to grow commercially, we have to expand, we have to go into those markets, and I think that's so important for Aston Villa to do. But then the other side of it is, you may support Aston Villa sort of 1,000 miles away, but you're still a fan. You still should be valued. So all of those people should come into core values and fit into a culture of Aston Villa. So again, really liked what he was saying. He was speaking about the old Stubbs building that's going to turn into the warehouse. Spoke about the club shop expanding, doubling the size. Again, brilliant. I like it. You know, it's good to have sort of like a mega store again, but fill it with stock, fill it with merchandise, fill it with everything that you want to be able to buy. One thing that I would say at the minute, which is really, really annoying, is the fact that you can see something online at a price and you go in the shop and it's full price. There's not that sort of disparity between online and going and buying it firsthand. I think that's a little bit annoying, that you can go and buy a training top for X amount of money, get home, and you're like, oh, it's cheaper online. I think we've got to kind of sort that balancing act out and get that right. So it was a really good interview. I think it's open, it's honest, and I pretty much agree with most things that he has said. He also said that, you know, it's about making Villa accessible for everybody. And I think that's a good point. And I think the terrace view and the lower grounds fall into that category of opening things up for different types of people. And I stick by my point of this as well, is that just because maybe some fans can't afford to go and do something at Villa Park, that is not a big enough thing for me to say that it's a bad thing and to tarnish something as bad just because it may be a little bit expensive. Look, I'm a Villa fan that goes into the Aston Inn. I go into the Social. It's a couple of quid to get in. Absolutely love it. That's me on a match day. That's something that I enjoy doing. Would I go into the lower grounds as a one-off? Yeah, I think I would go in there for a one-off occasion. Would I go in there every week? Definitely not. But the option is there. Some people would choose to go into the lower grounds every single week, and that is fair enough. So I think it's about keeping in touch with every fan, but offering things for every type of Aston Villa fan. So I think that's where I am basically at. I'm just honest. This is me. These are my honest thoughts. So you may disagree, you may have your own thoughts, and that's perfectly fine. But those are my thoughts on everything that he said. Frustrated that we're not going to see that big whopper North stand, but within reason, the decision, the transport, the infrastructure, we all know that it's not there. So while things are going well, let's pause, let's reflect, let's get everything right. Let's make those right decisions, because we've saw a couple of decisions that were made pre-Chris Hicks. We're now sort of shifting and turning our attention elsewhere. And we've just got to make sure that these decisions are correct, are thoughtful, and we do go down the right direction. And yeah, that's where I'm basically at. So drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Cheers, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Up the Villa.